Good morning, happy Monday. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about getting more sales for your business, your programs, your online courses, your coaching, whatever it is that you might offer. And of course, if you don't have anything to offer yet, well, this will be great because you'll have an advantage. You'll know going into it when you make that first campaign, when you create that first sale, you'll know some strategies that will indeed work. Now, there's a lot of nuances and things about what we're going to talk about today. You might have seen the title, the one quote-unquote trick. And it is in fact a quote-unquote trick, but tricks can be cool and tricks can be not cool. And I just want to preface this by saying that what I'm about to share with you is going to be very powerful. But with great power, of course, comes great responsibility. So let's make sure that we use this for good. If you're here in the chat with me live, say hello to your friends here and tell me that you're going to use this for good. Please, I just want to make sure we all know that what we're about to learn is going to be used for good. Now, if you are a baddie and you know that you're going to use this stuff for bad, then you can just get out of here, right? We're not all about that. So more on that in just a second. Happy Monday. I'm just happy to be here with you. Thank you so much. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag team replay in the comment section. Let's get this party started.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right, we got Contempo Coding in the house, Bill, Peasant Uprising, Ryan, Chris, Can Do Math, Elton, With All My Sweetness, Scooby Life, EJ. What's up? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to hopefully have some fun. We're going to chat a little bit. And I do have a presentation. Now, it's just one slide with a few bullet points as we discuss these things. But I'm going to share 5 different ways to use what I'm about to share with you. And I'm not going to make you wait any longer to discover what this is all about. This trick for more sales, this marketing strategy, this tactic, if you will, is often known as scarcity or urgency. Or if you want to combine those two, scourgency. Is that even a real word? Probably not. It just makes me think of scourgency. No. This means injecting something within your sales process such that people will have to act now. And you've heard me time and time again say this. If you haven't heard before, let's get a little close here. We have to give people a reason to buy now. If we know we have something to share that is of value, we need to give people a reason to make a decision. Because the truth is, if we just say, yeah, you can get this now, or you can get it later, like, no problem, you can just wait, it's all good. No pressure, we're trying to be nice. We don't want to pressure people. And of course, adding pressure adds a lot of aggressiveness, and it's something that we don't often want to be perceived as an aggressive marketer. But at the same time, when you help people understand that, well, something's about to go away, you need to take action now. Well, then they're more likely to make a decision. And sometimes people might be sitting on the fence, your prospects, your potential customers, your potential students. And it would behoove you to use strategies like this to help them understand that this is something that they should invest in, right? Now, when you start using these marketing tactics for bad, meaning I'm just going to say these things because they're fake, or I'm going to say these things because I know it's going to get a sale and I'm all about the money, and you don't really actually care about your customer, you don't actually have a product worth promoting or selling, it's actually not of value, well, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And so I'm glad we got that out of the way, right? I'm glad we got that out of the way. Bernard says, I briefly had a customer here. Cool. I love that customers are showing up. Post-Halloween, too, because Bernard owns a Halloween, or not a Halloween, but a costume shop, by the way. What's up, Adam and Riley? XL. I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks so much for being here. So, scarcity, urgency. I want to talk about 5 different ways that you can add scourgency, scarcity and urgency, in your marketing program, in your marketing plans. Now, not all of these will be relevant to you. Not all of them will, in fact, be possible. But we have to give people a reason to buy now. Partly because we know, as just human beings, we hate missing out on things, right? When we know a sale is going to end, or that discount's going to go away, or that price is going to go up, we often think, okay, well, we don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Let's take action now. But the big idea here is that we as marketers, our job is to help people make great decisions, good decisions that will help people, right? We want to come from a place of service. We want to default to just generosity. Start there and your earnings will grow. If you offer these opportunities for people to invest and pay you, right? I think a big issue that I've seen, especially when I first started blogging, a lot of people saw me blogging and they were like, wow, you're doing really well while blogging and then podcasting and doing YouTube. I'm going to do the same thing. And then for years, providing a ton of content, but not even allowing for some way, shape, or form for their audience to invest in them and back and pay them back. So we have to have avenues of transactions, but at the same time, we still want to always provide value, right? So let's dive into these 5 different things that we can offer in terms of urgency, right? So what kind of scarcity and urgency works? Well, number 1, time-based, right? The idea that, okay, well, a sale is eventually going to end or the cart will close. Now, of course, if this is an evergreen situation, how might we inject scarcity? Well, some of these other 4 tactics might be more useful for you in terms of having an end to something, because an evergreen sale means the thing is always open, right? But there might be something that goes away or something that ends, right? In many cases, if you're launching a program for the first time or it's limited in some case, you can say, hey, by this date, this is getting cut off and you won't have access to it anymore. People hate not having access to something at a certain moment in time, right? We all want as many options as possible. So when we see an option going away, then we are more likely to at least make a decision one way or another. That's the thing. If there's no reason to make a decision, then, well, I can always buy it tomorrow, or, there's nothing really that I'm losing here. If you are doing an evergreen launch, there's still, however, ways to add in time-based urgency, meaning you have a certain amount of time to act. There's a tool out there that I like and we use at Team SPI called Deadline Funnel that allows you to create unique launch-like sequences for every single individual based on an action or a trigger that starts a countdown timer. That action might be downloading something. It might be subscribing to a list. It might be clicking a button within an email to start a launch sequence such that there's maybe a week or 2 weeks, however long you want your campaign to be, to take action on something and get access to a special deal, right? And then at the end of that countdown timer, when it expires, it's still true scarcity because a person might click on that same link in an email that was sent prior, and it would redirect them to a page that says, sorry, you missed out. And again, we have to be honest all the way through. But time-based scarcity makes sense, right? Hey, by Monday, at the end of the day, the sale is going to end or the cart is going to close. And in fact, we're in the middle of a sale right now for our brand new course. The background of your slide reminds me of the cap you wore the other day. Yeah, I have that somewhere. That's funny. That's this right here. I think what you're seeing on the screen is a blurred out version of Post-it notes, in fact. But this is the Back to the Future hat. That actually does look very similar, very perceptive. Look at that. How crazy is that, right? Now, if you don't have Deadline Funnel to automate that, it's a little easier if you only have like one product to sale, right? Because then you can have redirects working on your end so that the time a campaign ends, for example, they might go somewhere else, right? So it's a little bit harder to do person-to-person individual-based sort of launches, but you can still do really well by having specific moments of time where something is open and then specific moments of time where things close. And like I said, we're in the middle of a launch right now for our brand new course, the one and only course that we launched and filmed this year called A to Z Webinars. It's doing extremely well. We have hundreds of students in there right now, and the cart closes today. So it's very, very, very important that today I send a few emails. In fact, one of those emails also includes a video, just a video like this, of me talking to you about that promotion and that offer and the fact that it's the lowest price it'll ever be, and that by tonight at 9 p.m., that's going to go away, and it's actually not going to be for sale until later next year when the price goes up. We have a lot of demand for it, and we have had a lot of surveys run, and we know there's still a large number of people that still want access to this who perhaps either missed the emails or are waiting till the last minute. But most of our sales come in last minute, which is pretty amazing. And that just shows you that FOMO, the idea that, oh my gosh, the time's going away, this is the time to make a decision now. Okay, I'm going to purchase it, right? So time-based can work. Next, access-based urgency or scarcity. Now, we have to be careful here. But what I mean by access-based is, for example, let's say you're launching a course for the first time, and you say, hey, guys, it's our beta launch, which means it's at the lowest price, and here's the date where the sale ends. But if you get in now, I'm going to be working extra closely with you because you are a part of the founding group, because I want to make sure you're taken care of. I want this to work for you. So we're going to have an additional call every single week beyond the course or beyond the number of calls that you'll normally have. But that's only available to you if you come in during this group, right? So now there's a reason to have a group because it's a founding group. It makes sense. I want to have more access to those people, or on their end, I want to be gifting them more access. That's, again, only available for them if they get in during this time. If they were to wait until the next one, they're not going to get the same kind of access, right? So this is a chance to give people access to you, access to your team, access to something that isn't going to be always available to people, right? So access-based scarcity or urgency. The one thing that I will say about access-based scarcity and urgency is that we have to be careful. There have been moments in time in the past where I've offered a little bit of additional access because on paper it looks really good, and then you kind of come down to it. And one time I offered like a free 15-minute call with every person who got in on the first day, and wow, that worked. But wow, I had a lot of hours of calls to do, and so you got to be careful because access also means your time, and so you got to just be careful about that, right? You could perhaps say the first 20 people who come in are going to get special access to me in a bonus call. So take action now. That's what we call a fast action bonus, right? If that makes sense, a fast action bonus. So Grandma Goody says, about A to Z webinars, I heard there's a discount for those who purchased before, but I can't find it. There should have been an email sent to existing customers. If not, you can send an email to help@teamspi to get that discount code. But anybody who is a student of any of my courses, any of my paid courses, you will have had to have paid for a course in the past. Then you can get access to the new course with that discount. So Kit Pang says, Pat has the best streams. Kit, I have the best audience, like you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. So access-based, we got to be careful about giving access, but access is really key, especially when you consider training. People want to give themselves the best chance to do well with something, right? So access to the course creator or some team or each other in a mastermind or something, as a part of the package, as a part of the campaign, can work really well. Just be careful about how much you are actually offering and consider, okay, well, is there and should there be a limit on that? Maybe it's a fast action bonus for anybody who purchases on the first day or by the end of the webinar. If you're using a webinar to, in fact, promote something, maybe they get access to something special, right? Cool. Next, bonus-based scarcity. Related extra items of value, that being very important, right? We don't just want to throw in like random bonuses. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But these bonuses, they either have real value, they cost money, or they aren't available anywhere else, right? So I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs who, when they're building these campaigns, they often focus so much on the actual product itself and promoting that and talking about the features and the benefits of that. When it comes to other things that they could do to promote, they kind of lollygag a little bit. They wait around and they're not quite sure exactly what else they can do. They're not thinking smart about it. And I want you to think smart about it. I don't want you to lollygag on your upcoming sales. Got it in twice there because I missed it yesterday. So just to be sure. Anyway, what kind of bonuses could you offer? Well, the bonuses that you don't want to offer are the following. Just taking any random products that you have and putting it in there in a package and saying, hey, this is an additional $2,769 of value for free if you get in by the end of our time here, right? By the time the cart closes. I think that a lot of people who are in the audiences these days are very smart and don't want a ton of extra stuff, right? It can almost seem a little bit reaching or almost desperate by just adding a whole bunch of things as bonuses that you then tack on a value, and you're just like, hey, there's like a lot more here. And that kind of almost devalues the actual promotion that you're doing and the thing that you're doing, right? So we got to be careful about that, right? Have you ever seen, chat, let me know if you've ever been a part of a sale where it's just like this person's throwing bonus after bonus after bonus. People today don't want more stuff. We want stuff that works, right? We are digitally hoarding, and we don't want to do that anymore, right? Digi-hoarding. You don't want to be a digi-hoarder, right? And we don't want to add to that. We want to have people go, hey, you know what? There's only a couple bonuses, but these bonuses are very relevant. These, in fact, will enhance the purchase. Now, there was something that was spoken about on the SPI podcast back in 2011, I believe, when Derek Halpern from Social Triggers was on the show. And he talked about this thing called a bonus sandwich. So if you're going to have two bonuses, for example, having a bonus sandwich works really well. So let me describe the bonus sandwich for you. A bonus sandwich is, if you imagine your program is like the meat, the featured item, the tofu or the plant-based protein in your thing, right? In that burger, right? That's the middle part. We want a top bread and a bottom bread bonus. So a bottom bread bonus is the one that holds the patty, right? And that's something that you can offer for free on top of your program that would help a person qualify or better be prepared for the thing that you're offering. So the example that Derek used and that I always share, it's quite simple to understand, is let's say that you are selling a product to help people with website design, right? Maybe it's an online course, maybe it's a coaching program or something, right? So that's the meat or the patty. The bottom bread bonus might be a bonus quick start guide on how to get your website up and have all the foundational items done for the website technically, or how to make sure your website is completely up to speed. Something like that, right? Something that then has people go, okay, well, that's exactly what I would want, especially if I'm going to start designing my website. This enhances the product. A top bread bonus might be something that, okay, after you have this product done, what can you do to take it to the next level, right? So maybe the top bonus, the top bread, is an SEO-based bonus, right? So you have something that then gets people to get their website up and running and they get those foundational items. Boom, there's your product for web design and it looks great, it feels great, it has the user experience that you want. And now that you have that, top bread bonus, SEO for beginners thrown in here. And you either have to have a real value to them, meaning you probably have sold this before. Maybe it's a separate product that you have that perfectly enhances either top bun, bottom bun for your patty. And what happens is then you have a real price, right? So in some of our courses, for example, even for this A to Z launch, our bonus is a workshop. And it's a workshop that we actually sold, right? It's a workshop that we actually sold. And we sold it for $99. And in fact, we're going to be selling it later for $149, right? So there's actually value in coming in live to our workshops. You actually get it at a cheaper price. But when we share this bonus to our course potentials, it's a real thing that has real value that's also enhancing, right? So our traffic booster workshop, right, is our bonus this time around. So wouldn't you, if you had a webinar, which is the course that we're promoting right now, it's how to create a webinar, wouldn't you want more traffic? Well, boom, here's a bonus workshop that actually was a real thing with real value that you get for free, right? So that's really important. Another option, if you haven't sold these products, because again, I don't want you to just make up the value here. You have to, if somebody goes, okay, well, why is it $199? If you can't back that up, then you're just making it up. The other thing you can do is you can offer a bonus that you create that enhances the offering that isn't available anywhere else. And I would just say that up front. I would say, you know what? This isn't available anywhere else. You can't get this anywhere else but here. So this bonus has no price because I don't sell it. And that becomes an even stronger proposition, right? Because it's like, wow, this is the only chance I can get access to this. What's an example? Well, when I promote my affiliate marketing course, in that webinar to promote the affiliate marketing course, I talk about the idea of creating demo videos, right? Creating videos that can be posted on YouTube, keyword friendly, SEO optimized, search engine optimized. I guess search SEO optimized would be incorrect because the O is optimized. So search engine optimized, not search engine optimized. Anyway, and creating videos and how powerful that is. And I share examples. And then in the pitch, I share a mini course that we created called Demo Videos That Convert. It's like 3 videos, so it's not super long, but it does answer questions people have about creating demo videos. And I say specifically, this bonus, Demo Videos That Convert, this mini course is not available anywhere else. There is no price point, but I've already shown you the value of creating demo videos for your affiliate marketing offerings. So you get access to this if you purchase before Monday. If not, you don't get that either, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Chat, how we doing? Sorry, I'm a little focused today on the content. We have 2 more scarcity/urgency based things, but just to recap, number 1, time-based, right? Having a specific time when this thing goes away. The sale ends on, the cart closes on. This forces a decision one way or another. And I'd much rather have a person go, no thanks, this is not for me, than, I don't know, I don't need to make a decision now. So time-based, key. Number 2, access-based. Perhaps additional access to you or a group-related thing that is only available to people who sign up within a certain amount of time. Maybe it's across the entire campaign, or maybe it's a fast action bonus. And if people take advantage of it, then they get access to this group or to access to you or a 15-minute call or whatever the case may be. Number 3, bonus-based. These are extra items. We talked about the bonus sandwich, something that then can help people even more qualify to take advantage of your offer, or the top bun being something that then after they actually take part of this offer and get a solution from you, what will then enhance that even more, right? So that's number 3. Now let's talk about number 4. This is one that we see quite often, but we got to be careful with it as well. And again, today we're talking about scarcity and urgency as the quote-unquote trick to have people make a decision and purchase. And again, you want to use these powers for good. We don't want to trick people into buying. We want to trick people into making a decision that will actually help and support them, right? Number 4, price-based. Price-based scarcity. For example, if you're promoting a course and it's your first time doing it, hey y'all, this is the first time we are promoting this. Very much like I'm doing right now with A to Z webinars. This is the lowest price. It's going to be going up next year. So now's your chance to get it at the lowest price. Pricing and when money is involved, make people move, right? So when we say the discount's going away or that the price is going up, and for those of you who have sales coming up here at the end of the year, number 1, maybe you have been underselling yourself. Maybe you've been underpricing what it is that you're offering. Well, offer it at that price one more time and say, hey, in 2021, we're raising the price. We've seen the value that it could provide. We're putting even more resources into this, and we want to focus even more efforts on helping you. So this sale that's happening right now before 2021, this is the lowest price it'll ever be. The price will be going up starting January 1st, 2021. So take advantage of this now or you're going to miss out on that. People often feel like missing out on a sale is like free money that's going away. Now, obviously, we know that's not true, but I think we're all smart enough to know the psychology that's going on there. We feel like we're losing something even before we have it, right? It's kind of crazy. These lower prices make people do weird things. For example, when a person drives 40 miles across town to get Costco gas that's only 5 cents cheaper because it's the cheapest gas in town. It's a big town, 40 miles wide. But then the drive there actually costs more. But people like seeing that lower price. And if we know that price is going to go up or that discount's going to go away, that gets people to act, right? So that's very important. But big thing we have to consider here, okay? Zooming out as a pattern interrupt because I really need to make this clear. You got to be careful when you discount. People can get used to the discounts. They can expect them. And when people start getting used to you discounting things all the time, when you normally sell things, they're not going to take action on that. So we have to be very careful. It's very similar to like what happened with JCPenney. Y'all know JCPenney, a retail store here in the US that I think has been suffering, if not is already bankrupt and gone. I'm not sure because I haven't been to the mall in a while. But JCPenney is known for having sales on literally everything. You go in there, everything is on sale. The CEO one day said, you know what? If everything's on sale already, let's just like get rid of the discounts and make everything cheaper, right? It's going to be the same price, but just let's make everything cheaper. Well, sales tanked. People flipped out because they wanted the discount. They're so used to the discount. We got to be careful, right? And again, this just shows you the power of having moments in time where people can save money. But we also have to be careful because we don't want to train our audience to understand that the price that we're actually sharing something is not the price that we actually feel that it is worth, right? So the psychology, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. But when you can, and again, be honest about you're going to be raising your price, people move because they don't want to miss out on that, right? They don't want to miss out on that. It's much easier to raise your price later than lower your price later. But that doesn't mean you can't do that. Obviously, there are holiday sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales, and things like that. Obviously, why in the world do people purchase things during Cyber Monday and Black Friday? Because those are the lowest prices they're ever going to be. And those are specific moments of times of the year where the price is lower or access to things is lower, and it's time-based. So all these things are also wrapped up into Cyber Monday and Black Friday, right? And folks like to brag about getting a discount for sure. It is still around, but Sears has closed down. Ah, thank you. Sorry to see that. Sears was a part of my childhood, actually. Going in there and just like exploring all the tools. The tools in the cabinets and the whole like sea of washers and dryers. And then going downstairs and seeing a bunch of clothes. Like it was just everything, right? Family photos were taken at the bottom level of Sears here in San Diego at one point. Rest in peace. Okay. And finally, 5, quantity-based scarcity. Quantity-based scarcity. Hey, there are only 5 of these available. Get them while they're hot, right? Otherwise, you're out of luck. So with physical products, this is a little bit easier, right? There are literally quantities that you have that can be gone, right? You can also inject quantity-based scarcity and sort of partner this with price-based, right? Hey, we have a load of inventory. We're going to sell our first 100 at a lower price just to kind of celebrate and reward those who are fast action takers. So for the first 100 people, you're going to get them at this price. So don't miss out on that opportunity. Again, price-based, but also quantity-based. There's only a certain number. When you're doing anything that requires your time, specifically coaching, consulting, you only have so much time available. So surfacing the time that you have or the number of clients that you can only work with will help people go, okay, I want to nail and get one of those spots. Because if I don't act now, somebody else might take that spot from me, right? So it's a little bit easier to think about quantity-based or number of units based when it's a physical thing like that, or it's in fact taking your physical and mental time. But what about an online course? Can you in fact, based on quantity-based, say, you only have 500 available? Is that even a thing you can do? Well, if you do it right, yes. But if you just say, hey guys, we only have 300 spots of our digital course available, get it while it's hot or else you might not get your spot. That's kind of false, right? If it's especially open all the time. And I've seen it, it's disgusting, but I've seen these sales pages that like have a countdown of how many spots are left. And then you refresh the page, and guess what? The countdown timer starts again. And you're just like, this is just a marketing trick to try and get people to take action now. And guess what? It does work, unfortunately. But I think we can be honest about this. And you need to have a real reason. What if a person were to go to you and go, okay, well, why are you limiting your digital product? Couldn't you just have thousands of people go through it? You're kind of lying. You're kind of saying, I can't get in anymore, although I can. Right? We do not want to, please, don't fake the scarcity. What's up, John Carl Lewis? Good to see you here. Charles in the house. Don, Jen Games, Peasant, Shonda. Great to see you. We don't want to fake the scarcity. Don't be a faker. Be a maker. Sorry, that was dumb. I think I just lost like 10 viewers just now. Okay. So how might we be able to add scarcity in terms of quantity on a digital product, an ebook, or an online course, when that, of course, could just be sold again and again and again? Well, guess what? I've done this, but you have to explain why. So, for example, when launching brand new courses, we often say, I didn't do it for this latest one because the demand was just so high, but in many cases, for our beta launches, for our founding launches, for our first-time launches, we say, you know what? We're going to be limiting this to 150 people, or whatever the number can be. It doesn't really matter what the number is, but we limit it because we know at Team SPI, and I know, that if there were any more to come in, it would be way too much noise for me to understand how to best serve that initial group of students. So I often say, hey, even though this is a digital product, I'm going to close the cart and limit it when we get to 150 students. Why? Because I want to work closely with those individuals to help ensure their success through the course. And any more, I don't think I'd be able to provide that same kind of value. So because this is the first launch and I want to work closely with this close-knit group of people, we're going to cut off sales at 150 people. And hey, you might not get access to it until next year, and it might even be a higher price too, right? So there's all those things working together. That's why I love beta launches. They work really well because they have essentially all of these things, right? Time-based, the sale ends on this date for a beta launch. Access-based, you're going to get additional calls with me that students who come in later aren't going to get, because I want to help ensure that the success of this course is going to be great moving forward. Bonus-based, there's often bonuses in there. Price-based, lowest price ever, early bird pricing, founding student pricing. And quantity-based, there's only 200 spots available, 150 spots available, because we want to work closely with that group, right? This is how we can add and include some sort of scarcity, quantity-based, on a digital product, right? Now, what if it's an ebook, right? You don't necessarily have groups of people. It's going to be a little bit harder to justify it, but you can still justify it, right? I'm limiting the sale of my digital book to 250 people because I want to have a conversation with these people and work with them. And any more than that, it's going to be harder for me to discover more about what they might need help with and how to best serve them. So you can say that, right? It just needs to be honest, and you don't want to fake that scarcity. And then, of course, the beauty of a beta launch like that, an early bird launch, is that now you have this closed group of people, right? No more sales are coming in. You continue to build that wait list, however, right? You redirect people who come to the sales page, or you include, instead of a sales button on the sales page, an opt-in form. Sorry, sales are closed. I'm working closely with this group from the November 2020 launch, and this will launch again in January 2021. Sign up now to be first notified of when the promotions happen or something like that, right? So essentially you're putting up a dam and you're getting that water to build up, and then all of a sudden come January when you reopen this, not only are you going to open the floodgates again and people have been waiting, but now you have hopefully testimonials, success stories coming out of that first initial group. And that's, again, another reason why at least I like to limit the number of people coming into the courses initially, because I'm in this for the long game. And I think you are in it for the long game too. Now, of course, in many cases, it just might make sense to keep things open all the time, in which case time-based scarcity goes away, but then bonus-based can create that time-based, that time-based urgency, not because the cart is closing, but because something is going away, right? And this is what many people are doing for the upcoming Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale, right? Their courses, their programs, their books have always been open, and they're going to continue to remain open throughout those holiday seasons and buying opportunities. But for Black Friday or for Cyber Monday, we're going to have a special bonus that goes along with it, and that bonus is only available during that time. So anybody who purchases during that time will get access to these things. You forward your receipt over, and if you forward that receipt over before Monday to this email address, we're going to give you access to the special bonus, right? So this is how we can create some time-based scarcity and urgency whilst having a product that was already open. We just add something additional. Or, of course, more commonly on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we reduce the price, right? So hopefully that's making sense. So we're about halfway through. I wanted to make sure that we offered some time for questions and answers around scarcity and urgency, but I didn't want to have you wait all the way through to the end to get all 5. So just to recap one more time here, and again, thank you for all the comments coming in. I appreciate you. What kind of scarcity and urgency works? You can do one or multiple of these at the same time. Time-based, access-based, bonus-based, price-based, quantity-based, but all in all, make sure we don't fake the scarcity, right? Charles says, I'm going to have to raid Pat's t-shirt drawer. Jar? Thanks, Charles. I appreciate you. Awesome. See you, Grandma Goody. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. Awesome. Great comments, great conversation happening in the chat. So we can spend the second half of this. What's up, John Carl? We can spend the second half of today answering questions. So if you have any questions, use the word question in all caps in the chat, followed by your question. Or if you're a member here, and thank you for so much for supporting the channel, use your question emoji as well so I can see it too. This is really great. Shonda says, 3 years ago, when I was really excited about getting started, I felt that I had to have something to sell. But now I feel that I should have been working on creating content. Would you agree? If you don't have anything to sell right now, that essentially means that you haven't had that kind of connection with an audience yet to know exactly what it is that you could do to offer something. Now, at the same time, Shonda, you don't have to create something on your own. Guess what? Your audience is already buying stuff that is helping them. You could become the one who could help other people find those same products. So one thing that you could do if you really want to know what your audience is already buying, Simply ask your audience that you already have, no matter how big or small, maybe on social media or other channels, what was the last thing you bought related to blank that was really helpful, right? So I don't know who it is that you're serving and what it is that you want to serve them with, but if you ask them what they've already bought, that's a clue, a signal to you that, wow, my audience really enjoys this kind of thing. Now I can find out more about this product. Maybe you might even use those products already, in which case now you can make money through affiliate marketing. You don't have to create new products. You can recommend products. And yes, that is a service to your audience. Filtering all the noise that's out there and determining what of all the things is going to be best for them. And so while you're building on your audience, you can still generate an income even before creating your own product, right? And of course, the bigger the audience and the more direct connection you have with them, hopefully you're building an email list at the same time. You can have conversations with them. You can learn more about them and serve them with both more of other recommended products and products of your own too, right? Great. Let's keep going here. Ooh, fermentation. You guys are talking about fermenting peppers. Awesome. Just Samson says, our Castle Life says, I like the ZV1 better. Yeah, this is the ZV1 right here that I'm using. Get a little bit more intimate, of course. This is the Canon EOS R connected to a Camlink 4K from Elgato, and then I can use my buttons here to scroll and do some other fun things, zoom in and whatnot. All right, let's see if we can find some questions. Content so helpful. Thank you, Cynthia. Glad it was helpful. Preach the Truth says, hey, Pat, what do you think about a membership program? Absolutely love it. It is the holy grail of income generation, in my opinion, because of just the economics of it, right? You get members in, continuing to pay monthly. You get new monthly members in, and then the income continues to grow. It's a lot more predictable, but it's definitely not passive. I will tell you that. It is probably the least passive form of income generation, because in order to keep people in monthly, you have to give them a reason to keep coming back, and that takes work, that takes time, potentially team, and a lot of effort and value, right? So we at SPI Pro, because we have a membership program, it was just launched in July, smartpassiveincome.com/pro. Amazing results, amazing community, a lot of hard work. We've even hired some people to go in there and make sure that we can continue to keep it flowing and thriving. And I'm really excited for what's coming for SPI Pro this month and all into 2021. We have some big plans for it, and it should be really cool. We've already seen some amazing transformations from people who have been inside of SPI Pro. As far as urgency, there had been urgency injected into that based on our founders launch, right? We only wanted 500 people in there because we wanted it to be tight-knit, and then we said, no, 500 is the cap. You become a founding member, you get access to a special membership badge being a founding member, and you get grandfathered in. This is a price-based urgency. You get grandfathered into that price because we will likely be raising the price later on next year. And of course, if you've been a member already, you're locked into that monthly price, which is a huge, huge savings over time, of course, and a reason to keep people sticking around, because if they come back in later after they leave, it's going to be at the higher price. But I think memberships are fantastic because one thing that people are craving for sure is connection and community these days, right? We actually ran a survey before getting people into SPI Pro saying, why do you want to be an SPI Pro? You know, we did an application process because it's not for everybody. It's for people who have businesses already. The number one thing people wanted was connections and networking. The least thing that, or the thing that people wanted the least was in fact more content. They didn't want more content. They want those connections. So I think it's great. Peasant says, website security. What do you utilize, Pat Flynn? So Sucuri, like security, SUCURI is a great tool that we use. And then of course I have a person who's in fact in charge of the website speed and security who, I don't know what they do, but that's just their job. So they do a very good job of that. They saved me back in March of 2013 when my website was hacked, and I lost 2 weeks of everything, and I lost tens of thousands of dollars as a result. And it's definitely a worthwhile investment to invest in website security. Also, limit login attempts. A simple WordPress plugin that you can use is something that can help combat a lot of people trying to log into your WordPress site. You can block people who try to attempt to log in and they fail, they can't come back, and those kinds of things work well too. But Sucuri is one that I've invested in that works really well, and also has a WordPress plugin that allows me to come in and it also automatically scans to see if there's anything fishy going on, and it has caught things in the past. All right. Question from Michael. Attended your webinar on Perfect Webinar, and I'm a PUP student. Is the deal that ends tonight the same for both? I'm also an SPI Pro. Yes, it is. Thank you, Michael. Membership is the holy grail, like I said, for sure. Y'all talking about food in here? Y'all making me hungry. This is amazing. Does the ZV-1 allow or have a plugin for microphone or recorder like Zoom H6? So the Sony ZV-1 indeed has a input for an external mic. I don't have it here. Oh, yeah, I do. So I use a mic like this. There's some from Rode that look like this, little shotgun mics, and it just uses this thing right here, which you can't see because it's not. There we go. And this can just plug in, and of course there's a shoe mount on the top. You can pop it in here, and it just kind of fits on top, and it captures really good audio. This one is from Deity, but D-E-I-T-Y, but Rode has some really good Rode mics, shotgun mics that fit on top of your cameras, and it'll work for the ZV-1 too. Gail says, SPI Pro is a great example of thriving membership. Thank you. What are the baseline requirements to get into SPI Pro? So we ask you a number of questions, and based on your answers, they get weighted. And if you get a certain score, you get in. If not, then you don't. But basically, we want to make sure that you have a business and that you are committed to it and you've gotten started already. It is not a resource for starters. It is a resource for those who have already gotten started, meaning perhaps you have some sort of email list. You don't have to, but if you have an email list, that'll definitely weigh in on our decision. If you've been a part of SPI for a while, that actually is a smaller part of it, but it is a part of it. But mostly revenue and commitment, and whether you have a website, email list, and other content platforms as well. It's not an if this, then that, but there's a number of different things to go with that. Let's see. We're finding the same thing in our membership. Less requests for courses and more requests for community feedback and accountability, says Gail. Indeed. Cool. So let's keep talking about sales, right? I know a lot of people in my world have been affected by COVID and the pandemic. There's a different sense of who's paying for what these days, right? And I think we have to not avoid that conversation when it comes to these sales, right? I think it's very important to be upfront about what we're going through right now. We, in fact, pulled back on a lot of our sales mid-year because of what was happening, but we're also pushing forward with a lot of things that we knew would be extremely valuable during this time. This is why we actually pushed forward SPI Pro, right? This was something that was supposed to come out in 2021, but we dropped a number of things to move this ahead, and now it's become our most successful thing this year. It has added an additional $400,000 a year into our business, and it's making more people happy and making them feel more connected. So that's really cool, right? But we didn't want to just avoid the situation that's happening. And I know that a lot of us are scared to launch or promote things during this time, but at the same time, this is in fact an opportunity that a lot of people have to invest. And I know a lot of people are spending actually more money than they had before because they're not spending it on other things, right? People are diverting their travel and a lot of their other investments into other things. This is why we're seeing such a huge surge in Robinhood investors. Robinhood is an app that anybody can use. And there's a lot of young people who normally would have spent money on other things now just investing in the stock market. So people are spending money during this time, and we have to show up and have people understand why they need to spend money with us and what that will do for them. Whenever you're selling anything, the most important thing is, are you relaying that promise? Are you relaying that transformation? And how are you proving that, number one, this thing will work, and number two, that you're the person to learn from or to get this value from, right? So in your sales videos, your sales process, make sure that that's very key and very apparent. With All My Sweetness says, I love that screen name, by the way. Hey, Pat, what platforms do you recommend to build a membership type community? So we use Circle.so, full disclosure. We are an affiliate for it, as well as I am an advisor for the company. I've fallen in love with this program so much. There's other ones out there that you can check out. I recommend seeing what works for you and the type of community that you want to build. But we use Circle.so. There's also Mighty Networks. I interviewed the co-founder, or one of the founders, Gail, at the beginning of this year. But I love Circle because it's so intuitive. It's very clean and minimal. And it's just allowing us to do what we want to do. And it's not very complicated for starting. And not just from a creator point of view, but from a new member point of view. So Circle.so, if you want to go through our affiliate link, smartpassiveincome.com, TimeBased/circle if you want to check that out. Thank you. Question from Shihab. What's your opinion about upcoming SEO changes like Apple search engine, Google's next core update, any major things to consider for 2021 specifically? You know, I'm not an expert on search engine optimization. I know a lot of the fundamentals. A lot of those things probably won't change in terms of making sure to obviously provide value and have keywords in certain places within each of those different content platforms. That stuff is always going to be relevant, right? But I would recommend following a person like Brian Dean from Backlinko to get even more up-to-date information. This is his entire job, his entire platform is all about keeping us up to date on search engines. And that's what he has the time to research and focus on and experiment with, and that's what he does. So I'd recommend following Backlinko here on YouTube, Backlinko, run by Brian Dean, a good friend of mine. We've, in fact, spoken on the same stage together. We've had dinner together. He's awesome. We actually even went to a jazz bar once in Lisboa in Portugal, which is really cool. And we just had, it was the night before an event, the Digital Nomad Conference, and it was like 1 a.m. Apparently nobody goes to sleep in Lisboa or Lisbon. Not Libsyn, which is the podcast host, but Lisbon. And this was in Portugal. And we just sat and listened to jazz music all night and had some really good red wine in Portugal. That was my first time in Europe. So that was an amazing experience. That was a lot of fun. And me and Brian had a good time. And we geeked out on a lot of super nerdy things that we were chatting about at the time. No one is an SEO expert. I think I would disagree with that, Rob. I don't think there are people who know it all, though. That's for sure. But there are people who are experts in the industry who happen to stay more up to date and kind of understand what's going on. That to me is an expert. An expert is somebody who just knows more than I do about something, in my opinion, who could add value and answer questions. But nobody knows exactly the formula because things always change. And, you know, it's not a if this, then that, right? SEO is not, it's interesting because it is code, but it's also not coding. Coding is language where if this, then that, right? Like if this, then run this. And it doesn't always work, right? There's a lot involved and there's millions of things that are involved with relation to why and how we rank high in search engines, right? Consult the Blind Guy says, any update on when the accessibility features will roll out for ConvertKit? I'm not sure. I'll check up with them, but I know that they have a lot on their plate and they've been going through some internal changes that may have had an effect on that in terms of team and moving people around, moving people up, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, but I will check on them. Thank you. All right. The sales process is all about the transformation, indeed. We need to sell the end result. We need to show how going through this can help people get that end result. We need to show proof. We need to help people get excited about that end result, right? And we also need to amplify what happens if they don't get access to it. What is life going to continue to be like? And the more we can nail that messaging and positioning, the more likely a person's going to go, wow, you understand what I'm going through. You understand what I'm talking about. Then you must have the solution too, right? Yes, that is a quote from a proficient marketer named Jay Abraham, who said, if you can define the problem better than your target customer, they will automatically assume you have the solution. Quick question, now that I'm looking at the front camera here, I see my monitor. What are your thoughts about the additional light that came here? For those of you who come in here daily and kind of know the show, I've added a little bit of additional color here. I brought a second LED light to put a splash of color on your right, my left. And we've always had the blue here, and I like the blue and orange together. Let me know if it's distracting or if it looks cool. I wanted to add a little bit more color and personality here to the show. Obviously, I rearranged the helmets in the background. Also, I'm looking for other helmets. I don't know of any other helmets. I did see some variations of the Mandalorian helmet in the latest episode of Mandalorian, which was a really good episode, by the way. And I saw them for sale on Etsy. But I want to go for different things. I was thinking of, the Darth Vader helmet, that and the Stormtrooper helmet kind of go together. But I already, I have a Halloween costume one, but I don't know if that would make sense. I was then thinking about the Lord helmet from Spaceballs, but it probably wouldn't fit on my shelf. Color add is great. Looks nice, Pat Flynn. Thank you. I like it. I like when the light is purple. Let's change it Let's see if we can. Let's just have some fun here. What if we go purple? Purple almost looks like we're at a club, right? What if we were like, that one's kind of, I like the blue, the aqua here looks really good, right? Cyan, like that. And then this one, I have more of a purple. That looks kind of cool too. I think I had it orange, right? Did I lose the color? There we go. That's where it was. We're just having some fun, yo. Oh, I had purple last week. I did have purple. Do the helmet for Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Ooh, some Lord of the Rings stuff would be cool. Daft Punk, my. Yes. That would be sick. That'd be pretty sick. Around the world, around the world. Go purple. That, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Maybe we'll change it up every day. Purple, I like the color against the warm color. I do have a little orange here by the helmets anyway. I have actually string lights going into each of the helmets and lighting them up from the inside. You can see it really well on the Iron Man helmet and the Stormtrooper helmet. Cool. This is what we're doing, yo. We're talking about colors today. Daft Punk would be sick. Daft Punk. I love Daft Punk. Buy it, break it, use it, buy it, break, upgrade it. Right? My son, this was a couple years ago, he was like, are there any songs that you know all the words to on the radio? And I was like, yeah. Around the world, around the world, around the world. It's just that repeated the whole time. He had a laugh about that. So chat, thumbs down. Hope you have a better day. Still helps with the algorithm, so I appreciate you for being here. Any other questions I can answer for you on sales? I just wanted to hit this hard, hit this quick about scarcity and urgency. To recap, for those of you who are coming in a little bit later, we discussed urgency and scarcity in our business and what that can do for us, how it might drive more sales. To recap this one more time, what kind of scarcity and urgency works? Time-based, saying a sale is going to end, just like tonight's sale of A to Z webinars. If you want to check out the replay to A to Z webinars and this training that we had last week, you can go to smartpassiveincome.com/webinars, and you can go there and you'll see the sale available. And again, the price is going to go up. The cart's going to close. We're not letting any new students in until the next time we open this because we're going to be working closely with those students, and more stuff's going to come out. In fact, Module 7 is going to come out probably tomorrow, which is the selling webinar. And there's already 6 modules in there already available to you. So we're putting the final touches on it for sure. But you can already get access to it and start that process now. Number 2, access-based. For example, you let the first 50 people get access to a special webinar that you do to quick start, or if it's a higher end product, the first anybody who gets in also gets a 15-minute call with you, things like that. Number 3, bonus-based, right? Extra items that are of value that actually you can prove are being sold for that amount, not just like a fake made-up number, but or you just say this isn't available anywhere else, right? Like that example I gave about my affiliate marketing course, where when I promote it, I also share that there's a mini course called Demo Videos That Convert that's available, but it's only available if you purchase here. It's not available anywhere else. You can't get it, literally cannot get it anywhere else, right? Number 4, price-based. And number 5, quantity-based. There's only a certain number available, right? And yes, you can still have that with digital, but you got to be upfront about why you're putting a limit on something that, in fact, you don't have to, right? And that then can inject a little bit more scarcity and urgency. We only want 100 members in because we want to work closely with them. We're not going to let any new students in. You come in with your cohort, we work with them, and then I open up the course again later. Ooh, RoboCop? Yo, Gail, my 80s memories are coming back. That's Pat, bro. That song is now stuck in my head. Which one? Around the World? My bad. The Ant-Man helmet. Oh, yeah, we can go Avengers. Captain America helmet. Does he have a helmet? Or is it more of like a fabric situation going on? It is a helmet. It must be a helmet. Thor. Yo. Pat, you need a way to change background color with the Stream Deck. Close up, different color. Ooh, right? Like I could go Now I want to tell you about, so let's see if I can, something very scary. That didn't work like I wanted to. That was a fail. There we go. That was a fail. I had to take the joy of opting out approach to not sign up for the webinar course. Good, Ryan. Good. Good for you to make that decision. Even though it'll be available again and price goes up, I can't just do it right now. Way to go, Ryan. That's the right move. That's the right move for sure. How about Doc's goggle helmet from Back to the Future? Or I could use Doc's mind reading helmet, that giant like structure. And he goes, wait. You are with the Coast Guard and you're here for a donation. Fabric. Oh, it is fabric. So it would just be like, we don't want that. Strong bad. Oh my gosh, strong bad. That's bringing back weight. That was like the original OG, like animation movie or show. Good examples of background might be nice to suggest for a live. Can you show us an example? Not at the moment, Dawn. I don't think I have enough time to go in and research with just a few minutes left. But spending time with Pat in quarantine for laughs. Appreciate you. Justin says, hey, Pat, I'm sure you've said this before. Yeah, all good, Justin. Thanks again for coming in. If you actually go to patflynn.com/live setup, I believe that you'll see, and I think there's even a link below to all my stuff. But the camera I'm using right now, this one that you're seeing the picture through, is a Canon EOS R with a 20 millimeter wide angle 2.8 aperture lens. And this allows me to get a little bit more, even though it's pretty close. Like it's probably just a little bit more than arm's length away, but you can still get more of the background, and it provides this really nice bokeh effect. This camera here is the the Sony ZV-1. This is my new favorite point and shoot, run and gun, take on the go camera. And I have this as a separate camera because I want to get a little bit more intimate here. I can even zoom in and I can get even closer. And I really love this camera. I even see a little pop out here, and it can have audio input as well. Not while live, but in the recording. If I were to hit record, it would sound really, really good. This camera up here is a Sony, I keep going Canon to Sony. This is a Logitech Brio 4K webcam. This one I really like. It's not obviously as versatile as some of these cameras here, but it's definitely something that can capture really good. This is a 4K quality webcam called the Logitech Brio. And then this camera here, this is a Logitech C920, which I didn't have a use for today, but that's kind of part of my view. I don't want to break anything. I've already broken stuff here. Anyway, that's for my top down if ever I'm writing anything on my table. I took your advice, says EJ, and removed the friction yesterday and set my YouTube recording up area permanently. Now all I have to do is sit and hit record. Good for you, EJ. That's what we talked about. Was that over the weekend or was that last week? I can't remember. But this idea of if you want to create a habit and continue to stay consistent with something, make it easy for you to do that thing, right? And I love how you're just already taking action on that, EJ. Now you just have to sit down and you just hit record. You can talk about all the cool traveling and the cool stories that you have that your audience would absolutely love and be available for. Ooh, there's some nice red in the corner. What is that red coming from? There's like a red dot. Like some RoboCop laser stuff going on right there. I don't know what that is. It's a great podcast about HR called Come On for something pods. Love that tip. Remove the friction. Nice. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Justin. Great job, EJ. All right, y'all. We are at the top of the hour already. This has been super fast, but I hope that you've gotten some value out of today in learning how to increase your sales with this quote-unquote trick of using urgency and scarcity. Now remember, tricks could be used for good and tricks could be used for bad. We are using them for good. We are helping people make decisions, because the truth is, if you don't get a person to make a decision, if there's no reason to go, okay, I got to make a decision and buy now or not buy, that's better, even if people aren't buying, than just going, well, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Because guess what? They're not going to ever take action with you if that's the case. So Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to do me a favor, hit me up with a like to let me know that you enjoyed the show, and hit that bell notification icon if you haven't already so you can ensure that you get more videos coming your way when they come in. Thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate you, and I look forward to serving you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe, we are also going to be at the same time. Just let me verify that. And I totally just lost my windows. Anyway, all good. Let's see. Is it this one? No, not that. Is it this? Is it this? There. I believe, just let me get in here and verify the timing for tomorrow. I believe it's going to be same time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Yes, same time tomorrow. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Thank you for coming in. Secret word checked off. Missed it yesterday, so I have to do a Watch Your Mouth on Friday. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. My mind is blown with how quickly this goes and how much fun I have with you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. Thanks to those in the back as well. And as always, Team Flynn for the win. Let's go.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
All right, y'all. Thanks again. I will be going live later today with the kiddos on Twitch, twitch.tv/hot polls only if you want to come watch some family-friendly fun. And keep up the good work. Happy Monday. Appreciate you so much. Peace and love. You're the best.
Bruh.